Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the INT Future Gohan or Gohan Future that recently got his Extreme Z Awakening on DBZ Dokkan Battle. So this is the INT Heroic Warrior Gohan Future, and he is basically been revamped with his EZA. So he has a great leader skill, Bond of Master and Disciple, and Hybrid Saiyans Ki +3, HP attack and defense of 170%. I actually think this is a really good leader skill, and it can cover quite a few bases. He then greatly raises attack and defense for one turn in his base form. He has Ki +1, attack and defense of 150%, and an additional attack and defense of 50% when performing a super attack. He reduces damage received by 58% when HP is 70% or less. He gives Bond of Master and Disciple category allies Ki +2 and attack and defense of 50%. He has a high chance of guarding all attacks when there's an ally whose name includes Trunks, Kid and GT excluded attacking in the same turn. And he will transform when conditions are met. He transforms when HP is 58% or more with an ally whose name includes Trunks on the team starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. In his base form he has All in the Family, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Gold Judgment, Experienced Fighters, Dismal Future and Fierce Battle. Saiyan Warrior Race and Saiyan Lineage will be replaced with Super Saiyan and Golden Warrior when he transforms. He's on Hybrid Saiyans, Future Saga, Transformation Boost, Goku's Family, Super Saiyans, Android Cell Saga, Bond of Master and Disciple, All Out Struggle, Connected Hope, Bond of Parent and Child, and Earthbred Fighter. In his Super Saiyan form, he raises attack on his super attack with a medium chance of critical hit. He has Ki +3, attack and defense of 158%, with an additional attack and defense of 58% when performing a super attack. He has a flat 58% damage reduction, and he gets Ki +1 attack and defense of 40% per Bond of Master and Disciple category ally attacking in the same turn. He launches a guaranteed additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super, when there's an ally whose name includes Trunks attacking in the same turn, and a guaranteed additional if he's facing androids or Future Saga category enemies. So pretty cool stuff. Obviously he progressively becomes better over time. Offensively, defensively he looks pretty good, 58% damage reduction if you multiply his attack and defense with his Bond of Master and Disciple boost. With his on super attack and defense you get a total boost of 497% or so, which is pretty good. So he can hit some pretty high numbers. That coupled with 58% damage reduction means he's a really solid unit. Even at 55% he looks pretty good. 200k or so starting defense, 58% damage reduction, and yeah, that's pretty good considering that's basically the same as Tech Elazawasu. See, the thing is, his defense can shoot up to like 252,000 or so, but that's if you get Cold Judgment and All in the Family, and getting Cold Judgment and All in the Family is just not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Like in theory it shouldn't be so bad, but honestly speaking it's pretty tough. Especially, all things considered, it's not the most All in the Family is difficult for him to get anyway, because you want a Trunks in the rotation to try and get those additional attacks. Not that it's mandatory, but it does help him, especially early on, to help him stack that attack. And then to get All in the Family and Cold Judgment is a little bit difficult. There's only I think 8 or so units that have that combination. You can obviously 50-50 it. You can have some units bring out the All in the Family, and you can have Cold Judgment come from like a Trunks, which there are quite a few. But yeah, basically the thing is like both of those things are obviously a very sizable chunk of defense together. So there is definitely an incentive to get at least one of them, I would say. If you can get Cold Judgment or All in the Family, then I think you're sitting in a pretty good spot. But when you can't get either of them, I think that's then when you start struggling a little bit. But yeah, just depends. Obviously, I think for the most part, it's all a fairly solid kind of link set anyway. He's got built-in key to kind of cover for his lack of key links. And remember, he does have Dismal Future, which is pretty solid on the Future team. So yeah, generally speaking, I think he's quite fine. The medium chance to crit's where things get a bit difficult, because with 30% chance to crit, it's not like it's super high in terms of chance to crit. It's just solid. So building him full additional is okay, I think, but realistically you might want to still give him a bit of crit, because 30% is not super duper reliable. It's not terrible, but it's just not crazy to try and rely on for damage. I think also he's not as restrictive as he may seem. I think the Trunks portion is more important in his base form, because it obviously gives him the chance to guard. But realistically, if you have a Trunks on the team, he's transforming probably from turn 4 anyway, and at that point you're just missing out on that high chance to super, which, although yes, very good, is not mandatory from a defensive standpoint. So theoretically he's in a good space, and we can see that with the attack stats that we're doing. We're doing some pretty solid numbers defensively, depending on which links are active. We're ranging from around 190,000 to the 252 mark. Obviously link leveling will help that, as well as having dupes, because remember, this is just 55%. So a Rainbow Gohan's probably going to be sitting in the 300k mark or so, which is really quite good. He's probably going to be sitting in the 300k mark, maybe even the 400k mark. After super, definitely higher. 58% damage reduction, 10 million attack stats. He'll be looking pretty good. With that 30% chance to crit, he's in a decent position. Obviously, ideally you probably want him to be a bit further up the scale, but I think overall he looks really solid. I really like what he brings. He needs to be really good, because what the Future Saga team needs, or for him to exist on the team, is to be a first slot tank. Just because of the nature of the team, the way it's built, the amount of great floating units we have, you need him to kind of be a good tanky unit, and I think he achieves that, especially with a dupe. So taking a look at his link set, that's where things are pretty okay. Like I said, all in the family, Cold Judgment, super strong defensive links that you kind of want to prioritize. Obviously they get stronger with link leveling, which is great. He will spend most of his time in his Super Saiyan form. He transforms from the 4th turn, and there's plenty of solid Trunks options now on Future Saga, or just any of his teams, that you'll probably have him transform straight away. So Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior are going to be your focal points. Experienced Fighters is okay, but pretty difficult to get. Dismal Future is a decent key link on the Future Saga team, especially if you link level it. And then you have Fierce Battles. So overall, I would say pretty solid stuff. In general, link leveling super units doesn't net out the craziest amount, but I think you get a decent bit here, especially from Golden Warrior and from Dismal Future, because they increase the amount of ki that they give, and of course Core Judgment and All in the Family increases overall defense, and that's something that's really, really valuable. Even if you can only activate one of them, it's still pretty valuable. So yeah, that's basically it. He's got tons of great linking partners, tons of 3-link, 4-link type of situations, but obviously his sub Easy Ape Tech Trunks links great with him, and then overall there's just some pretty solid choices. I think his Easy Ape was really good. I liked it, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think they could have kept his support maybe, but I think he's good. That's it from me. Bye.